Iran just attacked Kuwait's International Airport. Bahrain hit simultaneously, and America fired back within hours. The ceasefire is not just breaking, it is broken. Iran needs 1 million reals to buy a single US dollar. They have electricity for just 2 hours a day, and they are still attacking American allies. This regime is desperate, and desperate regimes are the most dangerous kind. I'm John. This is Ground Signal News. Here is exactly what happened overnight. Iran launched drone and missile attacks against Kuwait and Bahrain, two of America's closest Gulf allies. Several people were injured. Significant damage was caused to Kuwait's International Airport. This is Iran directly striking civilian infrastructure in allied nations. America's response was immediate. CENTCOM confirmed U.S. air defense systems successfully downed multiple Iranian drones attempting to attack American forces in Iraq. 0 American personnel harmed, 0 American assets lost. Then U.S. forces struck an Iranian military ground control station on Qashm Island, targeting it precisely and describing it as defensive in nature. And before all of that, U.S. forces fired a Hellfire missile into the engine room of an oil tanker attempting to break the blockade and sail toward an Iranian port. The vessel had received multiple warnings over 24 hours. It ignored every single one. And by the end of this video, you will understand why the $100 billion question sitting on Trump's desk right now may be the most consequential financial decision of this entire war, and why getting it wrong hands Iran the keys to its own survival. Stay with me. Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst, reporting live from the region, confirms the numbers that tell the real story of this conflict. Iran is losing hundreds of millions of dollars every single day because of the U.S. naval blockade. Iranian exports have dropped 90%. Crude oil extraction is running at just 50% capacity. The Iranian economy is being strangled in real time, and here is the critical context. More than 50,000 U.S. service members are currently positioned across the region. Fighter jets, refuelers, cargo planes, all in preparation for the moment President Trump decides to order full strikes against the Iranian regime. What happened overnight, CENTCOM identifying a threat in real time and striking it within minutes, shows exactly how fast that capability can be deployed. Trey Yingst's assessment: Trump has much more time than the Iranians. The blockade is working. The president holds all the cards. He can be patient. Iran cannot. Now here is the nuclear development that changes the negotiating picture. Secretary of State Marco Rubio testified on Capitol Hill that Iran has now agreed to negotiate aspects of their nuclear program that just 1 year ago they refused to even mention. That is significant progress. But Rubio was careful. It is not a guarantee a deal happens. All communications are in writing, through intermediaries. Iran's supreme leader is reportedly increasingly engaging, but has not been seen publicly since the first strike of this conflict. Trump called his top negotiators back to the table last week in the Situation Room, demanding more concessions from Iran. Specifically, how will Iran prove it will never have a nuclear weapon? And what exactly happens to that highly enriched uranium stockpile? Here is the $100 billion question, and why it is the most dangerous decision of this war. Iran wants its frozen funds unfrozen. The number being discussed is potentially $100 billion. And here is the brutal reality of what happens if that money flows. It does not go to the Iranian people. It does not rebuild civilian infrastructure. Every dollar goes directly to the regime, to the IRGC, to fund terror proxies, to rebuild the missile tunnels American forces already destroyed. Joe Biden unfroze $6 billion to get hostages out. America was outraged, and that $6 billion went straight to the regime. $100 billion would be 16 times that catastrophe. Iran's supreme leader, the man hiding too afraid to show his face publicly, has an apartment in London. His family members lived in California. This is not a leader suffering with his people. This is a regime looting its nation while demanding American taxpayers hand them a lifeline. Here is the question that determines the entire outcome of this conflict. When does the IRGC start to fracture from within? Right now, the economic pain is hitting Iranian civilians hardest. 2 hours of electricity a day, currency collapse, empty shelves. But civilians without weapons cannot overthrow a government. The moment that matters, the moment that changes everything, is when IRGC soldiers stop getting paid. When the military arm of the regime starts questioning whether the leadership is worth dying for. That fracture has not happened yet, but the blockade is accelerating toward it every single day. Iran attacked Kuwait and Bahrain last night. America struck back immediately. The blockade is crushing Iran's economy. The nuclear talks are moving, but slowly, and $100 billion in frozen funds sits at the center of the most consequential decision of this war. Trump holds the cards. The question is how long Iran can bleed before it folds. Stay with Ground Signal News. I'm John. If this gave you intelligence the mainstream media is not giving you, hit follow right now. New global intelligence every single day.